Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. First off, I am not putting up with any more trolls at all on my channels, on my posts. Fed up with these guys coming along. It's funny, isn't it? When you do a really simple Flat Earth proof, like showing a coin going across a tabletop and how it disappears, you know, they really jump on that one really quickly, you know, and they all come out with their equations and all, you know, calling you all sorts of names under the sun. And then when you get a bit more esoteric, they can't really, you know, these mindless trolls, they can't really say much about that. But what they will do is just throw a load of equations at you and you know. So yeah, they're growing in numbers, and I think still there are obviously paid ones, but which shows how important Flat Earth is. But there are also people that, I suppose, as the popularity of Flat Earth grows, then, you know, you got more people that would, you know, they think, oh, I'll go and have a poke at those Flat Earthers, you know, wind someone up. And of course, if you take the bait, then, you know, you're giving them the attention that they don't deserve. So that's it, I'm done. I think I've seen a new tactic as well, where they, a guy called Chris mentioned this. He did sorry Chris, I can't remember your second name, but he did a really good video on this, talking about trolls. Just came out today, and made some really good points. How they kind of got another new tactic where they reel you in with what appear to be genuine questions, and then, you know, they just basically just waste your time. And of course, what their comments do is, if they're at the top of your channel, just under your video, you know, you might have some really good information in your video, but then anyone new to the Flat Earth who comes along and watches your video, they're also going to see those top comments at the same time. They just about fit in. So if you've got someone calling you a moron, or going off on some you know, conventional physics and equations and stuff, they might appear to make sense, or at least reinforce the usual globe argument to any new one that comes along. So obviously, when you're talking Flat Earth, I mean, it's great, but there's no point in preaching to the converted, is there? You've got to get out there and get new people thinking about it. It's not about converting people to a religion. It's not a cult. It's not a movement. It's just an understanding that only need apply to the people who have been mind-washed, brainwashed, or yeah, whatever, you know, with the whole globe Earth model. You know, people like my wife, who's Thai, completely unaffected by anything that tells her the world is anything, the Earth is anything but flat, because, you know, it's for the Buddhists and for millions and billions of people around the world, the shape of the Earth is not what defines their reality. Yeah? Whereas as soon as you start talking Flat Earth with, you know, with people that have been brought up in the West under this science is God, cannot argue with science kind of attitude, and the school system and all that stuff, those are the only people that really need to kind of go through Flat Earth thinking as part of their awakening, as part of their enlightenment, because people like the Thais, they're already enlightened. You know, they get it. They're you know, they understand that they are here to carry out a physical existence and have an experience, learn things along the way. And they also have this intrinsic understanding that, you know, if someone's angry or something, then, you know, you don't start fighting with that person. You step away. You let that person's feeling of anger subside. If you want to be able to communicate with them properly, if you want to have a rational conversation or make, put your point across, there's no point in doing it while someone's angry. Which leads me on to something I wanted to say for quite a while. They obviously have cinemas here, some pretty good cinemas, and they do all the 3D movies in the kind of the shopping malls and stuff. But what's interesting is when you go to go past the cinema in the shopping mall here, they obviously got a good mix of Thai movies as well. So you've got all the posters for the Hollywood movies, and you've got a good mixture of posters for Thai movies. And it's interesting. I mean, the Hollywood movies, for the most part, they're very you've usually got a gun or someone shooting in the poster, or something very evil, something very scary, kind of end of the world scenario, what have you. Whereas the Thai movies are more like, they do a lot of comedies, they do a lot of ghost movies. They're pretty good at ghost movies. But then ghosts and spirits, or the spirit world, is a very real phenomenon here. And whether it's your ancestral roots, or the spirits or energies of people that used to have a physical presence here, they exist side by side. They're on another frequency, but they're here. We all share this same physical plane, as it were, but they're just on a different frequency. So like tuning into a different station on a radio, those stations, those different frequencies, they're all around us, but it depends if you tune in or not. That's interesting. My wife made an interesting point. There's a few places, or there's one temple in particular up in the northeast of Thailand where they have giant footprints of giants, a bit like the one Michael Tallinger has pointed out. And there are other temples where they have Buddha footprints, but they're often made. But basically, there's this kind of mythology that once upon a time, giants roamed these lands, and so this footprint I haven't seen it myself, but I presumed it's kind of like a fossilized footprint, but what they would have, the idea is in the Thai way of thinking that this giant would have been an important person in the community, so they would have then made an impression of his foot as a kind of tribute to that person and their deeds. It's very common mythology here that giants existed at one time. I'm not too sure on the deep history of it. It's something I'd like to investigate. But basically, what happened to them? Why do they no longer exist? And it's interesting. My wife was talking about whether it's a memory from the past, or just what would you call it, a genetic memory or premonition. It's difficult to say, but she says since she was a kid, now not forgetting that they've had no kind of indoctrination like this, no TV, no radio, in her early years up country, just living with the land. But she always has this vision of a great flood, water cascading down from above or from somewhere, but water coming so fast that it really literally is, washing everything away on the world. And so it's just a really simple idea that, and it doesn't have to be something that is technological, as it were, but basically, once every so often, everything gets washed away, all humanity gets washed away, and starts all over again. Does that mean it's a bad thing? No, it's just because, I mean, Thais already understand that when you die, eventually you go into another body anyway, you just do it all over again. And of course, the reason you can't really remember is that, well, then you're able to do it again and learn from your new experiences. But anyway, that's always been a vision in her mind, or a picture that she's a moving picture in her head, and it's just and so talking about the possibility that there are waters above us, again, that's something that makes total sense to her, not from any religious concept, just from a basic knowing, connection with the earth. You see, we're all from Mother Earth. Mother Earth is taking herself back. You know, we're like teenagers trying to get away from Mother Earth, off into space, off to other planets and stuff like that, but we're not supposed to go anywhere.